Yes, so we
Yeah. So
have
what?
DeAndre Baker and I'll just give a little background. DeAndre Baker and Quinten Dunbar. Did Baker from New York, Quinten Dunbar from Seattle Seahawks, former Redskin. We have that these two were apparently at a gambling game, which they were also at a couple of days before, where they had a couple of days before lost $70,000. They came back to this a similar party, then apparently pulled weapons out on other individuals there and took watches and cash, and apparently had getaway cars that were extremely expensive, as high as a Lamborghini apparently. Very discreet and hightail it
Yeah.
out of there. So
No attention gathering here.
yeah. All right, so that's a little bit of what's going on. So, what do you think about this situation? What do you think went down?
Well, I think that they got into a poker game. They lost. They got upset whether or not they think somebody was cheating or whatever. They probably left, and after a while, thinking to themselves, "Those guys just took $70,000 from us." So they got this idea that we're going to come back and recoup our money, and it probably didn't go. Maybe they thought they were going to have $70,000 there, and we're going to be able to just grab our $70,000 and go. But when they got there, there was, of course, shocker, no cash there. I think they said $18,000 or something, and they took a few high dollar watches. So I think it was just two guys that left the poker game that started getting upset about what happened, and then decided we're going to come back and get our money back. And unfortunately, that's armed robbery.
Yeah.
So
So
they're
there's a
going to
couple
do jail
theories. So
time.
that's one theory. Another theory is that they found out later, after they lost 70 grand, that things were not quite kosher. Like, it was not. Apparently, they were playing a dice game. So apparently, maybe they heard rumor that the dice were not just falling as they may. There could have been some loaded
Well,
dice.
and that's what I was saying is they could have felt like they got cheated. That's what, yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. So yeah,
Right.
that
So there's one, and then the other theory is that they came back and actually won the second time around, but the people didn't have the money to pay them. They said, "Oh well, we're good for it. We'll pay you later." And they said, We just lost. We paid you the other day straight up as soon as we lost. It's time for you to pay up now as soon as you lost." And then so when they said no, we don't have the money, it's like, okay, well then you're giving me your watches and you're giving me whatever cash you have now, and we'll make it whole later. But we're walking away with some money today.
well, the only problem with that theory is if the cops are right, they said that the cars were lined up to get away. That it was not, and again, I don't know if how exactly you tell that, but the police were saying this was premeditated because the way the cars were lined up. The only thing I wanted to say though is I only heard about Baker and Dunbar. The cops listed three cars: a Lamborghini, a Mercedes, and a or a BMW and a Porsche or a Mercedes. It was
Yeah.
three high dollar cars. But I'm
There was a
wondering if
third guy there. I don't know his
okay.
name, but there was a third guy there that apparently was wearing a mask. It could just be a Corona mask, but we don't know what kind of
Yeah.
mask. But apparently he was wearing a mask, and apparently DeAndre Baker told him to actually shoot one of the guys.
Right.
And
So yeah,
apparently,
I don't think this was a hey we won, um, give us our money. I think this was a I'll call it revenge or whatever. But yeah, you don't line the cars up and you don't come in there with a mask on and you're not. So I
it's
I don't know
Corona
if I buy
time.
that.
Everyone's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and carrying a gun because you never know when you might need a gun.
Yeah. Well, whoever was running that game has figured out now they need to check the guns at the door.
Yeah.
They have learned the hard way that they're going to need to do it that.
Yeah. Yeah, they need a bigger doorman to protect them from what's going on. But yeah, that I think, as I said earlier, they're doing jail time. That's Clinton or
It's rough.
Quinton Dunbar is done. They're both done in the NFL as far because they're going to do some serious jail time. From what I hear, you never know. Their lawyers might get them off. But
Which
I
is
think
sad because
they're
DeAndre Baker was actually a really good player. He was a first round draft pick for the Giants, second year player. Like he was going to go into his second season, so it's sad to see this happened. And it's also sad to see this happen to Quinten Dunbar. Quinten Dunbar was a fantastic NFL story. He was an undrafted free agent wide receiver, transferred to the cornerback position at the Redskins, and then made a name for himself and actually got a decent-sized contract from Seattle. So it's both of these kids had a really good story. I call them kids; they're probably my age, but both these guys had
they're kids to me, not you.
Yeah,
okay.
Both these guys had a good story, and it sucks now that this is probably going to be coming to a horrible lead. Baker apparently, according to this, pleads not guilty. Okay.
Well, when have you ever? Rarely do you ever hear of somebody in this kind of serious. I mean, if it's something small, they might say, "Yeah, I'm guilty," and get the slap on the wrist and be done. But how often do you hear a felony of this level where the guy charged with it says, "Oh yeah, you got me. I'm guilty."
Yeah, I guess so. Fair enough. What?
Like,
wasn't me.
You know,
I wasn't there.
yeah.
Who? What game? What's up, guys? Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. The like button is on this side for mobile. If you have any of your own thoughts or questions, comment down below. We may just answer it next video. Thanks. See ya.